Good evening, everybody. I'm Pierre Roberge, the Daily Trader. It is March 31st, and we are going to take a look at Tesla stock and also the indices because this is something that you guys want me to do. My goal in doing these videos is to help you understand how you can use technical analysis to make better trading and investing decisions. But I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research and make your own decisions. Okay, so a little bit of a pull down. So Tesla down $16.39. That's minus 1.5%. Closed at 1077.60. Post market up 93 cents, 0.09%, 1078.53. So let's look at what we have here on the chart. Basically, we have entered into a congestion zone. So we are between 1054.69 and 1116.02. So we are between these two numbers here. And we have had a big run with Tesla, a huge run. So we went from at the bottom 762 and now we are at $1,000. So this is a great run. So it's perfectly normal for the stock to pause itself a little bit. Let's go see the 1 hour chart to understand how this is being played out. So the first hour of the day here, we bounced on 1079.82. So 1079.82 is an intraday support line that we have been following in the past, and the stock has been really above that 1079.82, and now we are caving down a little bit lower. So we have stochastic under 60 on the 1 hour chart. So from an hour chart perspective, this is telling us that the stock is going to drop. The stock is going to drop until it reaches some support. So maybe this is going to be 1030 or a little bit higher, 1056. The jury is still out for that. In terms of other indicators, we still have the MI that still crossed over bullish. MACD crossed over bearish quite some time ago, and we know that MACD changes its mind very often. But most likely, the most important indicator, in my opinion, is stochastic to take a look at. So we are definitely going to drop. And because we just broke a support on the 1 hour chart, so breaking a support and stochastic below 60, if I wanted to short something short term with Tesla, that would be a signal for me. But I prefer to short SPX instead, which is pretty much in the same type of condition. Let's go back to the daily chart. So far, let's look at the indicators. So right now, this 1 hour chart stochastic below 60 is pretty much guaranteeing us that we are going to drop for the next little while. Of course, this will have an impact here on the daily chart, but in terms of the daily chart, we still have stochastic at 89 super strong and all of our indicators are still very good. So from a daily chart perspective, we could drop right to first channel support. This is the first channel resistance, but now because we are above it, it's the support. So we could easily drop down to 1027 or so. And I assume we would still have stochastic over 60 and pretty much all of the indicators still being bullish. So don't get scared about that. This is just what a pullback is. A pullback is that the stock is making a top and it's consolidating a little bit at some point. And what we would like the stock to do is to stop consolidating at some point and recover, because this is super steep. And when the stock goes super steep like this, it won't last for a long time. So that time seems to be pretty much over looking at the 1 hour chart. So what we need to look out for is to find a low. Is the low going to be 1054.69? That's pretty tight. So that would be great if it would be that. It could be here, right here at the 1020 something. It could be at 1,000. So we don't know exactly, but we need to look for a bounce at some point. And from that bounce, it could still be here. It could still be here. But that bounce, we are going to be able to trace another bullish channel. And then because that bullish channel is less steep, it should be lasting a little bit longer. So we don't need to predict anything. We just need to be there and watch it every single day and see what is happening. Of course, we want to have stochastic above 60. Stochastic above 60 is telling us that the stock is in a bull trend. We need to look at the resistance and the support also, but basically this is what stochastic is going to tell us. So we seem to be entering a little bit of a pullback. So we need to check this, and depending on your time horizon, you could sell right now, or you can wait a little bit until we have a pullback. And if we go back below 60 in terms of stochastic, then that would be a good idea to get out at some point. There is no panic here, but in terms of trading, we need to take a look at all of the possibilities and all of the worst possibilities. We need to look at them because we need to be mentally prepared to act on those. If you are an investor, then you can just put your money in Tesla, and in 2030, you will make 10 times what you have right now. But the trader's game is more precise. It takes a lot more work. It takes a lot more patience, and it's more challenging, but you can make more money that way. Let's take a look at the VIX a little bit. So VIX had been coming down a lot, and we now have a different bullish trend at a different speed that we had when the VIX started making higher lows here at this rate. So the VIX is increasing a little bit. So volatility is coming back a little bit in the market. Not in a super strong way, but let's just keep an eye on this one here. In terms of Dow Jones, so pretty much the same thing. We had been going up, and now we seem to have this little drop right here, down to 34,690. XPX crossed the first support here at 45.49. This is what I shorted actually. I just bought a put right here. I just bought a put when I saw that went below 60 and that we crossed our support right here, because even with stochastic below 60, supports and resistance are more important. So I was still waiting for the stock to break the support. And after that break in support, then we have what we have here. So we are starting to see a little bit of a turnaround. NASDAQ composite, pretty much the same thing, and stochastic below 60, and NDX stochastic below 60, and NDX stochastic below 60. Let's just watch what is happening. Of course, you can always buy a put to protect your position. So if you are long Tesla, you can at some point decide to buy a put. You need to get the signal to buy a put. There's not really a signal here on this chart because all of the indicators are super great and we have not crossed much of a support. So there's no signal here to make you make a decision. And it's always important to wait until you have a signal to make a decision. If not, you are acting on emotion. If you don't have a signal on the daily chart and you want to do something, then you can switch on the 1 hour chart and then you might get a signal. And this is the signal again that we got, is that we got stochastic below 60 and we have a break in support. So this is in itself a nice signal. So you could be shorting at this point. It does not mean that this would be a move that would be super, super long in terms of the short, but maybe you can short it until we see a bounce on a support at some point where we are going to make a second low like I was talking about. Anyway, tell me in the comments if I make sense, if I spoke too fast, or if I gave you too much information, and ask me questions and I'll try to answer as best as I can. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. You can click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.